So I get that question, what do you do with all the stone chunks and pieces that come off of your main piece of stone? And like I've answered before, I turn them into arrow points or real simple tools. What do I do if I'm actually thinning and working a piece of stone and it breaks? Just like that, busts. I'll show you. But I never let them go to waste. I mean, that's where it broke, right at the midpoint. So what I'll essentially do, save them. Like all of these, they all broke, which happens in knapping. Most of them are just right at that midpoint. Now where people have trouble is in these 90-degree sides. See here, and starting to work this one down. If we look down this piece right here, as I was thinning it, both sides it broke. This is my midpoint, this is my mid-ridge. So essentially I have to kind of restart this piece and try and thin this ridge down a little bit more, otherwise it's gonna be a pretty hunky point. So reduce my 90-degree break, reduce my medial ridge, my midpoint, and then I'll be able to work it into a nice little point. Little pieces. The idea is to get rid of that 90-degree kind of wall right there and pop your flakes off. Why you don't want to pressure flake it when it's that tall as medial ridge, that high ridge that runs down the middle of your point, you're just going to be throwing lots of pressure flakes in there that are all going to hinge. So you have to reduce it down and then pressure flake. So you thin it out with some stone or a billet, and once that little 90-degree kind of wall is done, then you go to pressure flaking. How I attack it is just at these corners, piece by piece by piece. Think of this as a strike but more of a rub. As I'm looking to hit this tiny little platform right there, I'm not looking to hit it with my stone, I'm looking to rub the face of my stone along that platform and then pop off my flakes. And you can see I just rubbed it and those flakes came right off, and it's giving me more of an approach angle to go down the entire side. So there it is again, and I'm gonna kind of take my flat side of my hammerstone and rub it along that side. Popped it off, wrote it there. All these little flakes are gonna be real small, but they'll all be doable. So that little piece right there, let's give it one more. There we go. Just a little bloop. Get those flakes off. One more little flake. Instead of striking like this, it's more rubbing like this just to catch that little platform. Boom! Popping a little flake off, reducing my 90-degree wall, and then giving myself a completely workable piece the whole way around. Still a little bit of percussion work, whether it's with the soft billet or a small hammerstone, and then it's right to pressure flaking. Right there. That little guy. Platform just sticks out a little bit, so as long as I don't angle my stone and take too much of stone, just let the abrasiveness of the stone catch, should be able to pop that flake. There we go. Just like that. See, just up and down, abrasiveness of the stone catches, that little platform was sticking out, and then down it goes. Do the same thing right there, just up and down. There we go. One hit, there's that flake. You can even look at your flake that came off using a flat abrading hammerstone. That will literally just catch that edge and rip that flake off. How the different sorts of hammerstones in conjunction with your target stone will pop the right flakes off. One more right there. Flat, little rip, bloop, there's the flake. All right, she's looking pretty thin. See, we'll touch up that edge. We'll probably get some sort of laurel leaf point out of it. So this is when we'll move to that pressure flaking and going from that broken preform, kind of give it that shape and determine what it's going to be, along with the stone providing its inputs along the way. A lot of flies today. Means after day 3 I'm really stinking. Everything is sitting down. Just a little laurel leaf style of point. Nice and flat, nice and even, and it will absolutely get the job done. This was essentially what I was starting with, and this is what I'm ending with. So you can see this one is a little bit longer than this actual broken piece, but I actually made it at an angle. I kind of go corner to corner because it gives me a little bit more stone depending on what I was initially making. All of these that you see here, from this little clovis, little arrow point, another arrow point, another arrow point, and this little laurel leaf, all came from broken pieces that I was working. But when I make most of my projectile points, they typically come from broken pieces or those kind of perfect flakes. Throw them in my little bag, and I've got a whole bunch of projectiles when I need them. So I'm gonna keep working on all these broken pieces here. These are not a lost cause. Take them, set them off to the side, and one day turn them into smaller projectile points. All right, that's all I got. Appreciate you watching. To the next one.